Hi guys, and welcome to a new devlog of my indie game Raidborn, which is a sandbox action RPG set in an adventurous fantasy world. Follow me along and enjoy interesting behind the scenes footage and actively participate in the development of the game. But now let's see what I have for you today. A new satisfying rage mode. Fancy item icons. Destroyable activators and more. The first new feature I have to show to you today is a very cool one and also something I wanted to implement for quite a while, but I wasn't really sure how and if I would be able to implement it. And that new feature is the rage mode. In the first step, I was creating the audio-visual effect for that new mode. And at first, I was creating a heartbeat sound effect, which you will hear when you will enter the rage mode. Then I also created a visual effect for the rage mode, and I was playing around with different post effects, for example, a color split effect and also a radial blur effect. I was trying to find a cool visual effect for the rage mode. Then it was time to write the code for this new mode. And the way it works is that whenever you kill an enemy, you will receive adrenaline. This, by the way, is indicated by this yellow status bar you see on the left-hand side above the stamina bar. So as I just said, whenever you kill an enemy, you will receive adrenaline and it will decrease over time. This means that you have to kill a certain amount of enemies in a relatively short amount of time in order to be able to activate the rage mode, which is possible only when you have enough adrenaline. And here you can see how this looks in the game and how it works, and now you can maybe also better understand what I was talking about before. Then I was playing around with the activators a little bit. You may remember that in the previous episode I already introduced them and I said that I would make more use of them, and the time has come to do so. So first I was starting to model some new activators to later use them in the engine. By the way, the reason why I want to make use of those activators a little bit more is because I want to add more interactivity to my dungeons and more interesting things, and to overall add life to the game. Next, I was trying to improve the code and extend the functionality of those activators because I really wanted them to be universal and easy to use. And what I mean with universal is that I want every kind of activator be able to trigger any kind of triggerable object. And that is what you see me doing here. Then I decided to create a new type of activator, which is what I call a destroyable activator. And you see how it works in the background. You have this closed stone door here, and when you're shooting on this construction I just built in Blender, if you shoot that, it gets destroyed and the door will open. And that is what I meant when talking about interactivity before. This new functionality may also allow me to add some simple puzzles to the game, which would be pretty cool. Can't promise you, I'm not yet sure how I will use this new feature in the game in the end, but we will see, and I'm excited to use them in the level design. I also added another new type of activator, which is this lever you see here. And those new activators and the new activator system will give me quite some options to place them in the dungeons and to make them more interactive and interesting. Here you see me creating the raw images for the item icons in the game. And the way I do this is that I take a square camera in Blender and I just squeeze them down a little bit and stretch them so they fit inside that area. And you may ask why I not just scale them down normally. Well, the reason is if I do that, they appear very small in the game, and if I stretch them in the way I do it here, you still can see a lot of that item and it looks much more bold, kind of, if you know what I mean. Then I added them to Photoshop, added some cool effects, for example the glow you can see here, and made them fit with the icon frame in the background. I personally really like how they appear, but of course your opinion and your thoughts are much more important than mine, because ultimately I'm making this game for you. So just tell me what you think about them and I will try to improve them from your feedback if necessary, of course. Now it's time to create the player home level layouts here in Blender to later import them into Unity and to add the detail there. The way the player home upgrade system works is that in the shop you will be able to upgrade your current player home to the next level player home, and everything will look a little bit different and it will look better, will be larger and stuff like that. So you will start off with a small cabin in the woods and later will have a wonderful and glamorous mansion. Additionally to that, I was also recreating the old shop layout. You may wonder why. Well, you may already know that I had to re-import all the assets and the old levels don't work anymore, and so does the old shop. So I thought, hey, let's just recreate the shop and also recreate the layout, because I wasn't 100% happy, although I like this kind of medieval mall feeling of the old shop. I decided to go for a more immersive and kind of realistic approach and make this shop a little bit smaller and not make it feel so large, because ultimately I wasn't completely happy with the visuals of the old shop. Now it is your turn, and I'm really curious to hear what you think about the new shown features, especially what you think about the new rage mode and the new activators I just showed you. I can't wait to read all your comments, and as you know, I really take your feedback seriously and will try to implement and improve everything you say if it makes sense and if I'm capable of doing so. I'm really dedicated about Raidborn and I can't wait to finish up the beta, to share with you guys and to see what you have to say about it. For so far, I wish you a wonderful day, stay cool and see you next week.